Good morning from the Flat Top Wilderness here in, let's call it central Colorado. Today, gonna be trail running the, let's call it the Devil's Causeway Loop. Essentially, I'm gonna be running all the way out to the Lost Lakes and then coming back on the Causeway. For a full guide on this hike or trail run, you can check the link in the description below. Stat-wise, we're looking at like, I think a 21 to 23 mile day with about 4,000 vert. Let's talk about this loop for a second. As I mentioned all the stats, most people are doing this as a backpacking trip in about 2 days. This hike will be popular. It won't be like a 14er or anything like that because there's really not a ton of like super checkable peaks in the area. However, I think I'm gonna be hitting this like perfect timing with wildflowers. I think they're gonna be just exploding with colors today. So really happy about that. Everything I'm carrying in gear, you can check the links in the description. But just quickly, I have my bigger Solomon vest. I'm carrying about 2 liters of water. Got my trail runners, and then the big X factor is the time of year. But if you are hiking this in the summer, there is, as you can see, a shitload of water on this, so tons of mosquitoes, and additionally snow will linger pretty long. The other thing I always carry is my Be-Free filter, so I can pump more water as I need to. Just under a mile in. For the sake of my loop today, I'm going to be taking trail 1119 over to the right here. Just absolutely stunned by how beautiful it is here with the water, with the flowers. This is just peak Colorado summer right now. Here's your first look at the Devil's Causeway right up there. You do have an option to go, I always screw these up, left or right to loop it. Left will start you on the causeway, and then right will loop you down to the lakes first. With the Leave No Trace 23 giveaway going away, I kind of want to highlight this guy. This is exactly what you're not supposed to do. He is hiking up a drainage, which will mean that he'll continue to erode it versus the trail, which the backpacker's on to the left here. So that's another sign of leave no trace. Do not cut switchbacks like this guy. Basically tops out on the first climb. This is your option to go left or right. Right will drop you down the other side. Looking back to that first climb, about 1,500 feet gain. Started kind of around this bluff. What a cool view here. I think what makes this really unique is how green it is. I imagine in the fall, this becomes pretty bleak when all the grass dies. I think this is a whole look at your way back. And so we're gonna drop down, go around, and then come up somewhere there. This has huge 4-pass loop maroon bells kind of vibes, especially when you get over that first pass, name escapes me, and you got immediate single track and runnable terrain. Oh, so close. 5 miles in. Got mud all over my feet. Fun. Leave trail 1119 and get on 1116, which goes to the left here. Just about 7 miles in. It's just been really cruising. Nice runnable terrain, really beautiful single track. The wildflowers are great. Bugs are really bad, but moving fast enough that it's not been a problem so far. Look at how clear that water is. It's so sick. We're arriving at Long Lake here. I believe that's Long Peak up there. This is a good spot to camp, good stop to pump, and you have about 2 more lakes before you eventually climb and leave all your water behind. So just keep that in mind. So this is East Lost Lake here. Oh man, so pretty. Wildflowers, the lake, flat tops above. What an awesome spot. Little stream here right after East Lost Lake. I'm gonna filter just to be safe. This is really good quality water and it'll get me through the rest of the day here. Change of plans. I either didn't pack or it fell out along the way, my water filter. So just did inventory. I have about a liter left for 10 to 13 miles. Not ideal, but I should be okay. You know, I finally feel like I'm getting better about gear management, and then I go and do something stupid like this. Very frustrating, but oh well. With this as your view, you're going to leave trail 116 behind and hop onto trail 1103. So far, this has been a very lovely day, besides the gear. Just beautiful. Nobody out here. I think everybody seems to start with Devil's Causeway, which makes sense if the weather's bad. You want to get off that open terrain. But I think we're green light for today, besides some small chances of showers in the afternoon. So feeling good. 10.3 miles in and only 2,300 feet of climbing, so definitely still have a lot more of that to go today. There's the West Long Lake through the trees there. Finally reaching the end of the forested part. Now I'm gonna climb up there. With this as your junction right here, you're gonna go left and finally start your slow climb up to the more exposed stuff. Yeah, make sure your weather's good to go. There was quite a bit of a climb from West Lost Lake. I believe this should be just about like 8-ish miles from here to the end of the kind of ridge, and then yeah, about 2 back to the car. Really looking forward to being up onto the exposed stuff to lose the bugs. They are, how do you say, not ideal. Another trail junction, staying straight on the Chinese wall trail here. Oh man, what a climb. Look north towards Steamboat. Beautiful. So on the ridge finally, gonna get headed to there. All right, finally up on the table here. I'm not really sure where I exit, but I'll show you a look around. Pretty cool terrain. You don't get this a lot in Colorado, at least not in the areas I've spent a lot of my time. The trail is absolutely gone. I have no idea how that happened, but yeah, I think my goal is to kind of shoot this way. Looking back, came down right over there, across. I was gonna be too low, so I'm taking a left here. Yeah, because there's no trail, I think I was following a game trail that just kind of meandered down, or maybe even like a herder's trail, because you can see the hut or shelter right there. It's tough to run up here because there's just a lot of uneven grass, so I'm just moving as fast as I can, but the running has stopped for the time being. It's pretty featureless up here, but what I'm trying to do is kind of stay towards this left side because I don't want to go too far down to the right and lose elevation. Thinking to kind of straight across. And then I believe the Devil's Causeway is not the one in front of us, but after that. I'm almost done with this flat top, plateau, whatever you want to call it. This is not fun. Give it a 2 out of 10. It's just very monotonous. There's no trail and you can't really move fast because unless you are just prepping for twisted knee or a sprained ankle, it's just not worth it. So hoping the Devil's Causeway ends this one with a bang, but it's a shame because down there on the other side, kind of drop down, is awesome. The lakes are beautiful, wildflowers awesome, nice single trail, and then it all kind of goes to shit up here. So there's a look at the Devil's Causeway right here, and just about to the start of it. Remember when I said green weather day? Back on the initial ridge here, and you can see we got our trail marker and a much better trail that loops this way. If you just wanted to come and do Devil's Causeway, definitely could. And you could actually make this about a 10-mile loop and essentially kind of loop all the way around back to the reservoir that we started at. This, I think, is the more popular route up here, but the one we're doing today is just as beautiful and a lot more miles. Kind of slowed my pace a little bit because of this nasty cloud that is right over the causeway. Right now, I don't want to be exposed with any kind of lightning. I haven't seen any, just thunder, but we all know how they go together. Wow, what a view. How freaking cool. That is basically looking down at everything we came up and over. And then back here, to give you some stats, just over 19 miles, about 4,800 feet of climbing. Really hoping at this point I can start to run again. I am going to try to show the most realistic I can angle of this causeway. Everybody can see exactly what it looks like and not say it's GoPro. But guess what? They're all going to be GoPros. Man, this place just has dramatic views. So here's a look at it. Honestly, nothing special. I'm sure this middle section here will be the steepest one, or the most exposed. I'll show you that in a sec. So this is definitely the most exposed and narrow part. You can see I got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet, and then a drop you don't want to have. If you're not used to exposure, that could be pretty freaking scary. If you are, it's kind of just a walk in the park. I hope you enjoyed the shots from it because it is a really aesthetically pleasing piece of trail. And if I had other people with me, we would have got some even more epic shots. But now, finishing up the ridge, getting back down. It's gonna be, let's say, 22 miles. It's gonna be a little over that, but I did some backtracking and account for maybe some bouncing of GPS. Same with elevation. I have like 5,200 feet, but I think it's probably 48-ish would be my guess. Overall, the Devil's Causeway to Lost Lakes Loop, pretty good one. Reminds me a lot of the Maroon Bells, just far easier and far less beautiful. That plateau part up on the table was just not it for me, but the rest of it, awesome. Devil's Causeway, I'm not going to answer any questions about this because I'm going to stay here and reward you who watch. It's like 6 miles round trip, maybe 6.5 if you just want to do that and then come back to the trailhead. 50 yards long, so nothing crazy, but like I said, a pretty cool feature. It's going to do it on the Devil's Causeway to Lost Lakes Loop here in the Flat Tops wilderness of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, welcome. 70% of you are just sliding through. Hit the subscribe button to not miss any future hike content, show you more places. Drop something in the comments below if you want to see me do something else in this wilderness area. It's my first time here, so open for any ideas. To help support the channel, I have a Patreon, which will help you with trip planning. It's the only place I'm going to answer your hike related questions, so check that out. And of course, I have gear as well. Awesome day here as always. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure.